Welcome to another edition of Agency Scale and Secrets. I am Solomon Timothy. Today's question is, how can I achieve my agency's revenue targets? A lot of agency owners ask me this question. We're all entrepreneurs. We're all goal-driven people. Whether it's $10,000, $20,000, $50,000, $100,000, whatever it is, we're going to talk about how do you actually achieve those goals. So let's get started. One of the things I tell agency owners that come to me with these questions is to actually write down your goals. I know this sounds really crazy. I want you to start with the end in mind. And if you don't know where you're trying to go to, then how will you know when you get there? So most often when I get these questions, okay, well, do you have a written goal of how much are you trying? What is that revenue target? Is that monthly? Is it annual? Is it quarterly? And how is that increasing? Can you show me that? And this is really important because this helps you start to think why this goal is even there in the first place. And some questions to ask yourself as you're working on this: if you started meeting more of your goals, how will that actually help you? Because many times agency owners have goals, but they're not really achieving them. So you have to really ask yourself, what are the consequences if you don't achieve those goals, right? In the past, what did you have to do to achieve those goals? Any of the goals in life, right? What did you do and what were the things that got in the way of actually meeting those goals that are just as important, because you don't want those distractions this time around. And so really ask yourself, do you have anyone that you can have from an accountability perspective to help you achieve those goals? Think about it. If you don't have someone to do that, because we offer coaching and consulting, one-on-one relationship with your partner managers here at Clickx, just for that accountability part, because all of our agency owners have a goal. They have $10,000, $20,000. It could be $250,000. We don't care what the number is, but you need to have that written down, work backwards. Again, start with the end in mind and work with someone like a coach, a mentor, to actually help you stay on track to get there. All right. So one of the things that we provide here is a lot of resources to help you get those goals in mind. Because our job here at Clickx is to help agency owners scale, because the way that we scale our business is through our agency partners. So when our agency partners grow, we grow. So we are very goal driven for our agency partners. We want to build every resource, every tool that we can to give you an edge in growing that revenue. If you can write down what the goals are and really ask yourself what happened in the past when you put those goals, what did you do to achieve them, and what were some of the distractions, right? You want to get rid of those distractions, work on that. So one of the things I tell agency owners every single day, they come to me with goals and targets and Excel spreadsheets and all the projections. I'm like, great, this is fantastic. Personally speaking, what are you doing to achieve them? There should be nothing else that you work on other than that particular revenue goal. There's nothing else. What I mean by that is, don't take another sales call, find someone else to do that. Don't worry about fulfillment. Hire a consultant to do that, or hire a white label partner, or whatever it is, to get rid of every distraction and focus on the goal. You're more likely to achieve that because it is going to come really clear, vividly clear on what you need to do to get to those numbers, right? This is really, really important stuff, because you can have a great goal and you put a timeline of 90 days. I promise you, 90 days are going to pass. You're not going to hit those goals because you're working on 500 different things. Lack of focus is probably the biggest challenge that agency owners and entrepreneurs in general face. They're always driven by the shiny object syndrome, right? Like, oh wow, that looks really great. That chatbot feature, I love it. Oh, I'm going to buy this landing page optimization tool. Or this sounds really great. We need this, whatever tool to help optimize for ADA. Doesn't make any difference for your revenue goals. So what you need to focus on is, how are you going to achieve that? How many calls you're going to take? Where are the calls going to come from? And how much do you need to close to get to that number by when? And if you can make that smaller and smaller, you're going to be able to see those goals being met way faster. Given that you have written down the goal, given that you're going to focus all of your attention, all your energy on meeting that goal, then start working backwards, right? What is that 80-20 rule telling you to do? What is that 20% that you can do to achieve about 80% of that? 80% of that is going to get met. If you're great at sales, then take on that sales role. If you're really great at marketing, take on that marketing. If you're really great at building partnerships, work on that, because that's going to get you closer to that goal. Finally, I want to leave you with something that I always tell my partners and always I'll tell my employees. This is something that we do all the time, is how are you going to reward yourself when you meet that goal? How are you going to reward yourself? What are you going to do? Are you going to go on a cruise? Are you going to go on vacation? We do even smallest things like ring the gong and do this, buy pizza, pop a champagne. All these things are little bits of dopamine, in my opinion, that you're going to have from accomplishing that goal. And you have to reward yourself. Otherwise, it just becomes a number in an Excel spreadsheet and nothing more. So really think about, how is it going to affect your life? What are you going to do when you achieve that goal? What is the reward you have for yourself to actually celebrate for meeting that goal? And similarly, what are the consequences that you're willing to do? Like, do something like, hey, if I don't meet the goal, I have to do something that I really hate. When you don't have any consequences, when you have no motivation, when you're not really driven by it, it's really not going to change your life. You don't really think about anything else. You don't really focus on the goal, then you're not going to achieve your goals. It's not impossible to get to 10K. It's not impossible to 100K. Now, 100K in 9 days, probably not the easiest goal to achieve, but 100K in 6 months, much easier, right? You have 6 months to work on it. 30 days times 6. That's a lot of time to do it. And you have 24 hours in every single day. And if you did nothing but focus on achieving those goals and figuring out what you need to do, how to execute for that revenue goal to be met, I promise you, any agency owner, any entrepreneur who are driven, motivated to be able to do that will be able to achieve that, because they're focusing all their attention on that thing and that thing only. And you'll see that the most successful, the ones that are widely growing agency owners or business owners in general in any industry, are extremely goal-driven, extremely focused. They have all the assistance in the world to do all the minutia, all the nonsense, while they're focusing their attention on the higher value. The things that are going to deliver the highest value are the only things that they focus their attention on, not replying to emails for 8 hours and say, why didn't I get to a 100K mark? Well, because you spend all of your time doing nonsense. The things that you can delegate, automate, remove. You can learn about task management and project management efficiency all day, because at the end of the day, all you really have is 24 hours of input to get to the outcome that you're looking to get to. So the consequences are just as important as the reward, because if you don't give yourself a consequence, you're not gonna be able to do that. So in my opinion, when we don't have the certain close rate for our sales team, what we would used to do is get them back to sales training. Like, you gotta go back to sales training. Why? Because you're starting to lose track. Your KPIs are not being met. And this is not a punishment, it's just that you need to work on yourself, right? So it is something that you need to admire, is that the consequence is going to get you back on track so that you can actually get to your goals and reward yourself. So it's really good for you to have those consequences just as you would have for a reward. And like I said, focusing your attention on the goal, the 80-20, is literally how we should be living our life, not just our business life. So I hope this video has been valuable. There's no secret, you guys. That's what I really want you to know. There is no secret. You know what you need to do. We talk about the growth goals every single day here. Is acquisition plus retention is growth. So if your revenue goals are 100,000 or 10,000 or 5,000, it does not matter. All you have to do is take that growth goal apart and figure out what do you need to do to acquire new customers, and how are you going to achieve the retention part of it to get to those revenue goals for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. I enjoy making these videos and I enjoy these questions, to be honest. Working with agency owners every single day is what we do here at Clickx. We have over 100 consultants that are working on strategy, development, fulfillment services, everything from Facebook ads to Google ads, you name it. We're in that business with you to help you grow profitably and predictably. So thank you for watching. If you like this video, click that like button, consider subscribing, leave me a comment. Tell me exactly what you'd like me to provide for you in terms of questions answered in the future videos, and I will see you next time.